Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Five. Don't know who's going to start this morning. We had a lot of pre-programming notes to take. But we're in Luke chapter 22. We're going to pick up in verse 31 today in Luke chapter 22, verse 31. Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has demanded permission to sift you like wheat. But I have prayed for you that your faith may not fail. And you, when once you have turned again, strengthen your brothers. But he said to him, Lord, with you I am ready to go both to prison and to death. And he said, I say to you, Peter, the rooster will not crow today until you have denied 3 times that you know me. And he said to them, when I sent you out without money belt and bag and sandals, you did not lack anything, did you? They said, no, nothing. And he said to them, but now whoever has a money belt is to take it along, likewise also a bag, and whoever has no sword is to sell his coat and buy one. For I tell you that this which is written must be fulfilled in me. And he was never with transgressors, for that which refers to me has its fulfillment. They said, Lord, look, here are 2 swords. And he said to them, it is enough. And he came out and proceeded, as was his custom, to the Mount of Olives. And the disciples also followed him. And when he arrived at the place, he said to them, pray that you may not enter into temptation. And he withdrew from them about a stone's throw, and he knelt down and began to pray, saying, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done. Now an angel from heaven appeared to him, strengthening him. And being in agony, he was praying very fervently, and his sweat became like drops of blood falling down upon the ground. When he arose from prayer, he came to the disciples and found them asleep from sorrow, and said to them, why are you sleeping? Get up and pray, that you may not enter into temptation. Noah, what do you see?
If I just be quiet while you do the point too.
Yeah.
There's so many things that jump out to me in this text. Jesus' control, I think, over the situation is evident to me all the way through. Satan demanding to sift all of them like wheat, but I have prayed earnestly for you. So Satan has to ask permission, right, to tempt these people. And even then, Jesus is on their team. He's on their side. He's rooting for them. And he wants Peter to be restored. And in the passage about his prayer on the Mount of Olives, again, this isn't something that happened accidentally, right? This was his custom. He wasn't trying to elude Judas. He wasn't trying to be sneaky. He went where he always went. He knew where Judas was going to go to look for him, and that's where he went. He wants this to happen. He's ready for this to happen. And even in that control that he has, he's still, I say he wants it to happen. He really doesn't want it to happen, right? I mean, he would like this cut to be removed for him, but he's completely willing to sacrifice his control to the Father. Just the allusions to Daniel here in Daniel chapter 6 when he prays. Again, he goes into his room as was his custom. He's not trying to be sneaky. He's not trying to get away from those who are looking for him. He owns it, and he trusts his Father more than he trusts, the ways that we can try to get by in this world and that sort of thing. I think that's powerful.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing point, just that Jesus and the Father's will is not subject to the whims of man, but it's Jesus showing his control. I guess what I was looking at in this text, both times we see references to Jesus praying. Here as his time draws nigh, he's still thinking about Peter and petitioning the Father for him, but he also prays for his own desires, but limits them or submits them to the Father's will. If Jesus would go to the garden with dependence upon his Father uttering prayer, it's just a reminder of how much we need to pray and be thinking about him. Well, that's what we have today. If there's any thoughts or any comments or anything you'd like to say or questions, we'd love to interact with you. Just let us know in the comments below. I hope you have a great weekend. God